In today's video, we are playing Minecraft for 300 days, bringing our total up to 1,000 days. This video has taken me over 2 weeks to make, and I'm super excited for you to see it, so please subscribe if you enjoy and leave a like. Maybe if we hit 100,000, I'll do a world tour and download. Anyway, let's get into it. Oh boy, here we go. We're back. 1,000 days. Let's get on with it, shall we? I spent the final days of day 700 fixing my tools, gathering some endstone for later, and then I flew back home looking at my beautiful castle, and I decided to kick off day 701 in my good old little house here, dancing with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, and here we go, 701. I forgot I made predictions for the 700 days video, so here were my predictions. The things I wanted to achieve, I achieved some of them, like some of them okay, but the next page, I got all of these predictions right, and look, I even killed 100 horses, as you can see there. Ooh, mama. But you know what? We need grass, so I went and got a load of grass. That's right, we're starting off with a grass collecting time lapse. How enthralling, I know. So fun, but it's actually kind of satisfying to watch, I think. And in that day and a bit there, we collected 3 whole shulker boxes worth of grass, as we're going to be working on a bit of a big project. But before that, we had to, start off the video with some nice horse screams. Oh, listen to the beautiful sound. But on day 703, I got placing all that grass I just collected, as we are going to be building upwards here. We're not going back down. Oh, no, we're going up, as I want a house. And you're saying, Joel, you've got a castle. Why do you want a house? Well, there's no bed in that castle, and I need somewhere to sleep, so I thought I'd build myself a nice house here. And oh boy, I've designed a nice house. You're going to see later. But I also noticed my sugarcane farm had stopped working for some reason, so I had to fix that, which took like almost a day, as I kind of forgot how it worked for a second. But we got it going again, which is lovely. All that sugarcane coming in, meaning we don't have to worry about rockets anymore. But what we do have to worry about is the massive amounts of mobs that are spawning under our new terraformed area. So I went and lit this up, of course, while getting attacked by about 50 skeletons, it felt like. Oh, and I lit up the top as well because I had some problems with creepers spawning and exploding stuff. But look, I've got 16 netherite scraps, right? But I want more. I've got a goal for this episode, and I kind of need some netherite blocks for that goal, let's just say. But either way, I went to the nether and started digging down, and whilst digging down, I somehow placed my shulker box here, which is unfortunate because it's got everything we need in it, so I had to sort of rescue it by surrounding that there. And then we dug down to figure out, oh, I've already done all the exploding down here. So I had to fly off to another faraway location, and then I placed the remaining TNT I had from the 700 days in here to see if we could get some netherite from it, and we got a little bit of ancient debris, but not that much really from a stack. It was like not worth it whatsoever. So I had to switch back to the good old-fashioned bed method. I say good old-fashioned, it's very slow. And also I did this, so yeah. Not a big fan of that method and spawned here, but luckily I'd prepared this time. We weren't going to walk back again. I got my rockets, I got my elytra, and we flew home this time. Oh, it's so nice. And actually, when I went back into the nether, I almost died again, but luckily we managed to pick up everything. And I don't think I actually lost that much stuff. I think I may have lost like 1 or 2 beds, but apart from that, that's not terrible, to be honest. But either way, used up the remaining beds. And we only got 6 ancient debris, which is not great, but it brings our total to 22. And you can see there, I'm putting some sandstone in our super smelter, because I need a lot of smooth sandstone, as we're going to be building with that later. So I also went to the desert to get some sandstone, yoinked the entire path from this village here, and then just mined a load of regular old sandstone as well, which is really satisfying to do, until we had just over a shulker and a bit's worth of sandstone. I hope it's enough. If it's not, I'll be sad. And when I got back to my castle, I put all that sandstone on to smelt, and I started gathering some other resources as well. And my super smelter is good, but it takes quite a while to smelt all this sandstone. So after I was done gathering all these other materials, it was still going. So instead of, just building the entire house, I thought, you know what? Let's build the outline of it to give you a little teaser of what's to come. You can see here, it's going to be quite a big house. And I'm very excited to show you it, but not yet. Instead, I thought I'd work on another project. As you can see here, Super Smelt is still going, so I went and bought some glass. I also got some item frames, and I also went and got some clay to make some terracotta. I had to use the furnaces in my old house, as obviously my Super Smelter was all clogged up with sandstone, and then I made this terracotta into rainbow terracotta, and we collected 10 different colours of terracotta here, which we're going to be using for our new project. I also gathered some observers, some dispensers, and whilst I was making all these materials, I heard a creeper dying in my house. I don't know how this was happening, but it scared me. Either way, back to the project. Have you figured out what it is yet? Well, you should be able to tell once I start placing this glass here, as we are going to be making a sort of wool farm. I want a wool farm which will give us lots of different colours of wool, and that's what all the dispensers are for. We're going to fill them with shears. We have the observer. Basically, we're just multiplying by 10 our other wool farm, and we're going to have different colours as well. And yes, I just killed that chicken there for fun. But either way, we gathered up some sheep and we lured them back up to the top of our sort of area here, and then we trapped them in a pen and started breeding them up, because we're going to need 10 sheep in total for all the different colours. We're also going to need a lot of iron. Luckily, we have an iron farm, and with that iron, we're going to make ourselves some hoppers and some mine carts as well to make some hopper mine carts. But it's time to build the sort of collection area for this wool farm. We've got all these double chests here, which should be plenty of space for storage, because we're honestly not going to be getting that much wool, to be honest with you. And I wanted to make it look pretty as well, as obviously we're going to be coming in here and collecting our wool. So I decorated the interior, as you can see here, putting some item frames up so that I could tell which wool is which. And then I stuffed the dispensers full of shears. These should last us for the full 300 days, really. And also, you can see here, this is what the terracotta is for. It was to color code it and make it look all pretty and stuff. But it's sheep dying time, as we'd nearly got our 10 sheep from breeding them over these days. And once we got all 10 died, I started layering them out. And oh boy, what a painful process. As you can see here, we got the cyan sheep in with not too much struggle, and I feel like I need some sort of clown music in the background here of me just getting all these sheep into all their different containers, because oh boy, what a pain. One of the most miserable processes, but we got it all done. We got all 10 sheep into their holes where they will stay forever and they will just give us wool. I'm sorry, sheep, but you're mine now. So the least I could do was decorate the interior to make it look a bit nice for them, and making sure it's all lit up so no bad mobs come and spawn in there. And I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks rather pretty, but the outside does not look rather pretty. So I gathered up some materials once more, as we can't be having this ugly wool farm next to our beautiful village, and I built a nice sort of building around it here. Nothing too complicated. I did, however, want to make sure that it was very obvious that this was sort of like a wool / colour factory, so I added in some wool and some colours and some chimneys on top to make it look pretty. And we just finished a time lapse, so back to the Nether, where I swiftly killed this child. I don't know why, I just felt like he deserved it. I then got collecting a load of shroom lights, as you could see there, and then went and AFK'd my prismarine farm for a bit. Not for the prismarine, just so I could hear the screams. Just kidding, I did actually need the prismarine, but the screams are just, you know, an added bonus. But we're not actually making dark prismarine. As you can see there, we've made some normal prismarine, as we're going to be using that. However, for building this sort of house that I want to live in, I felt like I needed a mascot. So I got this cow here, and after accidentally hanging him for a little bit, I managed to get him up next to our soon-to-be house, and this guy's going to be our mascot while we build our house. In fact, I might collect more mascots, because I quite like having friends, and it's quite lonely building in this single-player world. But I called him Charlie the mascot, as you can see here, and then we started building. And we get about 7 days of progress done here. Basically, I just went until I ran out of block, and you can see it's starting to take shape now. Look at Charlie, he's just spinning around there, having a great old time, and I was having a good old time building as well, because this is our palace. This is where we're going to sleep. You're probably thinking, Joel, this is very extra for where you're literally probably just going to put a bed. Yes, it is extra, but we're doing 1,000 days of Minecraft. Of course we're extra. You have to be extra or insane to do this, and we're both. But you can see we got the front wall and one of the side walls done here. Charlie the mascot, though, was getting kind of lonely, so I thought, you know what, Charlie needs a friend, and what better friend to get than a panda? So I actually headed to spawn, as I knew there was a jungle there, and obviously near jungles you get bamboo forests, and I searched and found this village which had a large fern in it, so I stole that, and then I found some pandas, 2 pandas in total, and I was like, I'm going to bring them both back. So after a bit of awkwardness, I managed to get them both into boats, as you can see here, and I set off on an adventure to take them home, and I swiftly killed one of them instantly when trying to chop down some bamboo. So that was a bit unfortunate, but the second one is going to come home with me, and we've got about 2,000 blocks to travel, and the blocks were glitching out. I hated it, but after a lot of struggle and a lot of traveling, we managed to get on our ways, and we headed to the nearest ocean, where I got the panda out of the boat and then back into the boat, and we set off adventuring. And this was a very long journey, which took probably about 30 minutes in total. I tried to make some canals at one point, thinking, oh, this will be helpful if I need to bring some back in the future, but it was a ridiculous idea. I was trying to break through this entire mountain biome, so I thought, you know what, instead, let's fly up and have a look around and find the most optimum route to get to the ocean, and I managed to find a decent one. It still required me to build a decent amount of canals through the land here because the oceans didn't connect to the ocean near our base, but finally we got the panda back home, and you can see there, we're going to have to get her up a long way, but I called her Penny the Panda because I thought that was a cute name, displayed my large fern, and then I also went and got some redstone from them on our chests and made some powered rails as we need to get Penny up this hill here. And after cautiously breaking the boat, didn't want another accident after bringing her all this way, we got Penny in the minecart and look at her go. She did take a bit of damage there, but apart from that, it was a nice safe journey all the way up to the top of our base. And after a nice sleep next to Charlie the mascot, Penny was brought up and she is going to stay there and be our mascot and cheer us on. And I decided to instantly go leave her and chop down some trees because I needed some trees. I know it's not the most interesting thing, but to do interesting things in Minecraft, you have to do boring things first sometimes. So that's why we went and collected a load of wood so we could do some interesting things. But we got Charlie, we got Penny. Let's get building some more of this mansion. And on day 741, we got building the back of the mansion. And we spent the next few days just building this big tower here, as well as trying to finish off the other side. There's still the roof to do after this, but I wanted to get a decent amount of progress done before I inevitably run out of blocks, because guess what? That always happens. No matter how prepared I think I am, I'm never prepared, which I think just sums up my life and this series in total. But I didn't care because we had Penny and Charlie by my side and we made a lot of progress. We got all the walls done and also started on a bit of the roof as well. But before we can do more, we need more mascots. So we headed off towards the mountains and I found this llama and a child. So I was like, you know what? I don't want the child, I want the llama. But unfortunately, the child came with us. So we got 2 llamas for the price of 1. That's a deal I'm not going to turn down. And after dragging them all the way home, we managed to actually get a lead on the baby llama as well. And look how cute they are going across this bridge here. But we got them outside our house, tied them up, named them Victoria and David Beckham. Why? I don't know, okay? Don't ask me why I do these things. I don't know. And after Victoria was tamed, we gave her a carpet. But unfortunately, David didn't want to be tamed as his only child, but he sounds hilarious. Look at him. And then we reached day 750, which is 1/6 of the way through the video. Oh my gosh, that is quite daunting. But I decided to just get on with it, and I collected a load of wool from our wool farm, as you can see here. Look how colourful it is, but we are going to be using it to do some not colourful stuff in the nether. That's right, we're going to be going for some netherite again. And you saw me collecting some obsidian there because I decided to head out to find a soul sand valley, as these are the best places to get ancient debris. So I thought I'd make a little portal here so that I could sleep on the other side, just in case I died, you know, because that happens quite a lot with me. It's embarrassing how much it happens. Like, if this was a hardcore series, this series would have been called 30 Days of Minecraft because we'd have been over. I did, however, put my portal in the wrong place as there was just lava underneath it, so I had to destroy it and move it to over here, where I immediately got attacked by all the mobs, which is very annoying. But this one led to a cave, which is not as nice as the overworld swamp we had before, but I put my bed down anyway and set our spawn point just in case we die, which will inevitably happen. And now get prepared for an ancient debris mining montage. Listen to them all break. Oh yeah, baby. Yes, 753, we only got 1 bit of ancient debris. It was very sad. But in 4 days total, we got 24 ancient debris, and we saved our coordinates of the portal, melted it all down into scraps, and then added them to our pile in our ender chest. Went out to 46. Still not as much as I'd like. However, I thought, you know what? The beds was annoying. Let's AFK our creeper farm. So I did. I AFK'd it for 6 days. I know, enthralling content, but when I play Minecraft, I AFK a lot because I build a lot of AFK farms. But look at all that gunpowder. Oh, it's beautiful. But of course, I had no sand, so I had to go to the desert again and mine a lot of sand. And I got a lot of sand, as you can see here, before heading home with the a lot of sand I had to turn it into a lot of TNT. Nearly 5 stacks. I know what you're thinking. Blimey, you must be able to get like a netherite beacon out of all that TNT, Joel. No. But before I went and created a massive boom in the nether, I had to head to the end to fix all my tools, which I did. And then I made my way back to the Soul Sand Valley, where I got placing all the TNT. Oh, big corridors full of TNT. You'll love to see it. Found some ancient debris while digging out the tunnel. That's what I do actually love to see. And then set off the TNT. And I don't know why this always happens, but they never all explode, right? Like, look at this side. Nice and exploding. That side stopped. But I continued setting it all off as I had lots of buttons. And of course, we got a massive lava wall. Yay! No ancient debris in there, or if there is, I can't be bothered to try and clear all that lava and find it. But from nearly 5 stacks of TNT, we got 20 ancient debris. Rubbish. But we managed to get over a stack of netherite scraps now, which is promising. David Beckham had grown up, so I decided to tame him as the wicked beast he is, give him a carpet, and then I gave them both chests because I thought, you know what, that's kind of cute, and I could also store some stuff in there. Now it's time to finish the roof on our house, but before we can do that, more mascots. I went and got this wolf here. Isn't she cute? Gave her a purple collar at one point, and then put her down here and called her Andrea because she looked like an Andrea. But look at this stupid roofless palace. Let's give this thing a roof. So I did. I forget that Prismarine looks really weird in time lapses and sort of glows because Prismarine does that. I always forget that because you never really see it. But in the middle of the roof, that's right, tower. Whoa, bet you were expecting that. A big old tower as well with a big old roof on it. The tallest tower in our palace, and I forgot to put windows on it. I've just realized now. But oh well, it doesn't take away the design of the palace, which I believe is looking rather nice if I do say so myself. Oh, I can't wait to terraform the area around it. And of course, straight to the nether after we finished the time lapse. Just kidding, I actually had to go collect some shulker boxes first, and then I slept, and then I went to the nether. But why go to the nether this time, Joel? You don't need more resources. Actually, I do. I need a lot of magma blocks. So I spent a few days collecting magma blocks, and I collected a lot of magma blocks. I then worked on gathering some resources and materials I was going to need, and some of those things I needed were some turtle eggs, and oh my gosh, when did we get so many turtles? I don't know what's happened. Not many of them are named. I probably should go through and name them at some point, but there's so many. Anyway, we needed 4 turtle eggs in total. This guy here was just having a panic attack. He wasn't laying any eggs, but finally, we managed to get a hold of 4 eggs, which is lovely. Leaving 3 behind on the beach, which means 3 more turtles. I then went and told Gerald's stupid friend that he's an idiot and he's stupid, and then I went to the nether. However, we need to get to the roof of the nether, and I managed to find this block here, which was the roof of the nether. Put the ladders on, and you throw the ender pearl in the gap here, and you're up on the nether roof. But we need a way back, and of course, I brought myself a nether portal, so I made a nether portal, and it came out here, which is not too far away from our end portal. But it's time to get working on a farm. That farm, you can probably tell by now, is a gold farm. Gold is obviously very useful for trading with piglins, and piglins give you string, which I like using string to, like, you know, do stuff with. So I thought this would be a good way of getting string. And I followed a tutorial from someone called Shulkercraft. I'll put a link in the description, and it's a very, very easy to make gold farm, which obviously requires some turtle eggs for the piglins to come be like, ooh, yoink, my turtle egg now, and then they fall into a hole and die. Don't you love it when mobs die in Minecraft? I know I do, especially horses. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we need to place down a lot of magma blocks. Oh boy, these things are annoying to place down because obviously if you stand on them without crouching, it hurts. So I had to do this 4 times, and we finally got it done, and then we could place this weird glass pattern on the top to stop gas spawning in because they kept spawning in, and then we dug all the way up to the height limit, which was here, and this is our AFK platform. So I swiftly went and died. Yep, that's right, I fell from a high place. How do I keep doing this? I don't know, but luckily I set my spawn just to the portal outside, so all my stuff was right there, apart from this guy who yoinked my sword and boot, so I had to kill him. Also, I did stand on one of my turtle eggs earlier, so I had to go get another one, place it on the farm, and finally we have this thing working. So you know what I decided to do? I decided to AFK it for 10 minutes to see what we get, and in 10 minutes we got just over 3.5 stacks of gold. But I decided to ignore the gold for now and instead focus on diamond blocks, because in my house I wanted to flex as much as possible, and placing some diamond blocks up there, and we did that on both sides, using up 16 diamond blocks. But now it's time to AFK this farm for good, and I AFK'd it for 4 days, and look how much gold we've got. Oh yes! Unfortunately we also get rotten flesh, which sucks, but I just threw it all on the ground, and then I took all the gold that we got, which was a lot of gold. Oh, look at all that. Before deciding it's probably time we got finishing the house again. I keep getting distracted from finishing it, and we needed streamlights, but these guys were like, no, don't take our streamlights, so I killed one of their children. Sorry, that was really aggressive. I'm not sure what came over me, but either way, I started gathering some other materials, including some green glass, as we're going to be working on the interior of this thing. We also gathered some birch wood, which I'd normally throw up at the sight of, but here I think it actually works quite well, and we got working on both floors, and this took a long time to do. Turns out interiors are slow because they're just like so complex and complicated, but I was very happy with the design I come up with, so I was very excited to get it into the survival world. And we had, of course, a massive bed. Look at that thing. Oh yes, that would fit me and my 2 best friends. Just kidding, I have no best friends. But we finished the majority of the interior here. There's still those 2 right rooms which we need to finish in a bit, and also we need to finish up the roof of this central bit here, and I have something planned for that you will see later. But look, I balanced on my bed because I was so happy, and then I thanked my mascots for their emotional support throughout this time before going to farm some vines, as we needed some mossy cobblestone for some stuff we're going to be doing in these rooms on the right here. And each of these rooms are going to be dedicated to different animals. This one, of course, to Penny, one of our first mascots. So I'm going to turn it into a habitat she will like there. And this is where the mossy cobblestone came in to put as the floor on here. But it also needs a roof. So I went and chopped down some oak trees and then added on a roof. Look at the roof. Here it comes. Very nice. All lit up as well and ready for Penny. However, we're not going to put Penny in yet. Instead, we're going to head back to our gold farm and AFK it a bit more. And look, I wiggle my head here and 2 days go past and look at all the gold we got. Ooh, lovely amounts of gold. But now we have all this gold and all this unwanted rotten flesh. I don't know what to do with it. Just kidding, I do know what to do with it. I'm going to take it all and put it in this chest here and leave it there forever. Psych, I'm actually going to head back to the Nether here as we're going to be building a piglin trading farm. Now, these guys give you a lot of rubbish, but also a lot of good stuff. So I made a massive storage system to store all that in. Just kidding, it's not that massive, but it's pretty big, all right? Please don't judge my storage system. I got this guy in a boat and I managed to layer him down into this little room we'd made. Just kidding, he got out of the boat. And then I spent the next 5 minutes trying to get him back in the boat, but he just wasn't complying. I wish this guy would be more like my best friend Gerald, but he was being nothing like my best friend Gerald, and I hate him. But I fixed the problem by digging out a bigger hole, taking the piglin down into the big hole, getting rid of the boat, and then pushing him into a hole where he will stay forever. And then I gave him a name tag of Stupid Piglin Frank. Yeah, Piglin Frank, you're going to be trapped forever, and all you're going to do is just take this gold and then give me items. And here you can see it start to work. He takes the gold, he throws it in the air, the hopper collects it, and we get it in the system. And of course, the first thing he gives us is crying obsidian. I hate you, Stupid Piglin Frank. So I decided, you know what? We need some more piglins as well as Stupid Piglin Frank. So I went and gathered some more piglins in the boat, and this took a long time. As you can see, we're nearly approaching day 800 as we spent about 4 or 5 days just trying to get this idiot into the hole. And I collected 4 piglins in total, and I didn't think they were worthy of actual names, so I just called them all Stupid Piglins. One day when I returned to the surface, it was raining, so I was like, ooh, is it as thunderstorm? No, it's not. It's not thunderstorm. That's sad. Anyway, back to trapping piglins forever. Yeah, look at him go. But that was our final one, so we could add in all the droppers we needed to add in now, and we went and got all our gold out of our chest and placed it in these droppers and got them going with the trades. All you need to do is press this button on the back of each one here, and they will start collecting the gold and spitting out items. So I AFK'd there for a bit, and we managed to get a decent amount of items, and the most important one that I'm looking for is string. I really need a way of getting string, and this is the best way to get it. And I used some instantly to make some more scaffolding as I kept running out of scaffolding. And then I saw my painting of Lizzie, and this gave me an idea. I remembered that I'd made a space in my new house for this portrait of Lizzie in particular, so here it is. It's going right in the centerpiece when you walk into the house. I think that's very, very cool. And then I spent the rest of day 799 just going and AFKing this farm to get some more string and more items before collecting a load of stone and cobblestone, as on day 800, that's right, we have reached day 800, a third of the way through the video, we're going to be doing some terraforming. I know, exciting. Well, it actually is kind of exciting because I think it looks kind of cool, so don't patronize me like that. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm sorry for insulting you. Anyway, do you want to subscribe, please? We're on day 800 of 1,000, guys. Oh my gosh, look at this terraforming. It's looking so lovely. I ran out of grass multiple times, but we managed to get the stone in, and we also got adding a waterfall. I think this looks really, really cute. And I'm only doing this entire video so I can get a really cool screenshot at the end. Just kidding. I'm actually making it because I want the money. Just kidding again. Or am I? I don't know. Either way, I went and AFK'd my creeper farm for 5 whole days. I made sure to sleep as I was working on something on my other monitor, just editing, whilst AFK in this creeper farm. And we got a decent amount of gunpowder, but I didn't collect it just yet. Instead, I went to the Nether as I needed some more storage. I kept running out of shulker boxes, so I thought, let's go get some more shulker boxes. I raided a few end cities, got some elytra, some diamonds, some gold, but most importantly, those lovely shulker boxes, and we managed to get a decent amount of shulker shells, having quite a blast here, as you can see, just floating up, hitting shulkers with my sword. I do actually quite enjoy end raiding. I think it's quite fun, although a bit tedious as it's all the same. But hey, when you place about 4 hours worth of grass in this world, killing shulkers is quite fun, alright? But on day 813, I returned to the surface, and you can see there we got 20 shulker cells, which made 10 shulker boxes, and I instantly went and filled some of those shulker boxes with gunpowder, and then with TNT. I managed to make 3 and a bit stacks of TNT, which is really nice. Headed straight back to our portal, and I started exploding stuff. But then, of course, you know me, we can't go to the Nether without a death where we die in lava and lose all our stuff. And of course, did I have my spawn point set? No, I didn't. So I had to get my emergency elytra and rockets, and as you can see here, everything had burnt. All those TNT stacks had burnt. I AFK'd for nothing. I was so mad. so. Luckily, I had been to the end just before, though, so I managed to go and make myself a nice, shiny new elytra, although I didn't have enough enchantment points, so I had to do some pumpkin trading first, and then I called it 1000 Days of Dying, LUL. Anyway, more obsidian because I needed to make myself an ender chest, and then I decided it's time to head out into the lovely world and kill some horses. I was mad at losing all my TNT. I needed some relief. This brought me relief, okay? Don't judge me. It's just really satisfying to hear the screams. Okay, you can judge me for saying that because that was really weird. Anyway, I had to fly out like 3,000 blocks to find those horses, so I made my way home, gathered a load of wool as I did want to get all that ancient debris, and I did it the old-fashioned way with the beds, which took quite a while. So here we go again with another ancient debris mining compilation. I did this over about 4 or 5 days. I can't remember in total. Nearly died there getting that bit of ancient debris. But I just wanted to get the amount we needed done. And our goal is completed when we reached day 820. As you can see here, we put them all, got our netherite scraps, and we could make 27 netherite ingots, which is 3 netherite blocks, but we're not going to use them just yet. You'll see, I'll use them a bit later. Also, I went and fixed my tools there quickly, and then we got working on some more interior of our house, and the first thing we did was finish off the ceiling here and also add in a lovely golden chandelier. We need to flex, and this base is flexing. All right, we got the diamonds, we got the gold, but what we didn't have was grass. So that's right, I went and collected a load of grass. This took me a long time, but I don't care. I like collecting grass. That's actually a lie. I don't like collecting it. It's very boring, but I got it done, and we got 4 shulker boxes worth of grass, so I don't have to worry about grass for a long time, okay? And I immediately took some of that grass and moved it to over here as we got finishing the terraforming on this side as well. I got way too much grass for how much I actually needed. I also added in a wall here instead of like a rocky side because I thought it just looked quite neat with the village behind it. And the reason I terraformed that area is because I wanted to use it, and to use it for some bees. I've always wanted to make like a honey farm, and I've never got round to it. It's been my goal since like day one because I've just never really done it before, so I thought this would be a great opportunity. So I went on the search for bees, and I hate this. Bees are really annoying, okay? Getting them in the beehive is a pain. As you can see here, I'm struggling. I'm trying to lure them in with flowers. It's not working. Also, these guys showed up, which is kind of annoying, but we got them in the beehive, and then I forgot that my axe didn't have silk touch on it, so they immediately all started attacking me. So I took out some of my stress by killing these horses here. They deserved it. And then I went and tried to get some more bees, and after a long time of just waiting around for them to fly into the beehive, we managed to get 1 bee in there, so I killed some horses to celebrate, of course. And then I found some more bees and tried to lure them in as well. And finally, after a lot of struggle, you hear that satisfying pop sound. Oh, lovely. And we now have 3 bees in this beehive, meaning we can take them home. So on day 830, I did. And I also went and got some spruce wood, as I wanted to make a little breeding area for these bees. Because eventually we're going to be putting them in an automated farm. So for now, I thought I'd make a cute little dome where we can just breed bees for the future if we ever need bees. So this dome here is going to hold all our lovely bees. And I just thought this would be a really cute sort of design, as I personally believe bees are one of the cutest mobs in the game. Just ignore the fact that I killed some earlier. Okay, thank you. Anyway, we added flowers and some coarse dirt in there, and then we got placing some beehives, and we got space for 9 in here, which is not terrible, and we started breeding them up, and look how cute the baby bees are. They're so cute. I then began gathering materials to make that automated machine I was talking about earlier. It required some dispensers, some hoppers, some redstone comparators, and that's about it. So I was following a design by Shulkercraft again. Hopefully I'll remember to put the tutorial in the description. But you need 8 full beehives for this to work. So I was breeding my bees as I went along, and oh gosh, they take a long time to breed. We didn't even get anywhere close to 8 full beehives. How many bees is that? It's 24. I just did the maths. Just kidding. I used a calculator. Actually, no, I didn't. I'm actually really smart. Anyway, day 833, we finished the machine, as you can see here. All it needs now is the bees. Oh, and actually it needed some glass bottles as well to collect the honey, so I had to go buy some glass from these librarians here and then make a load of glass bottles. Breeding my bees as I went. Look how cute they are. Oh, they're so cute. And then I decided to decorate around the waterfall, adding in some flowers, some bamboo, etc., some leaves, just making it look a bit nicer and overgrown. And I also added in this tree here, which I thought looked really cool, and it sort of sits really nicely in this little waterfall area. And while I was doing that, I was breeding my bees, and we now have the 9 beehives in here, but we're going to leave them alone for now, just breeding them up occasionally, and head straight to the end to collect a load of endstone, as we're going to be working on the project, which involves was the blocks of netherite, and this needs a lot of resources, so I collected a load, as you can see there, and we also needed some more diamonds, as I wanted 10 diamond blocks. So I headed back to my beacon mining place and started collecting a load of diamonds. It took us about a day or so to get, I think it was 22, or was that wrong? No, 16 blocks of diamonds, and we managed to get 33 from that, so pretty good with our fortune. And we also had time for 10 blocks of diamonds. And oh look, more bee breeding. Oh, and also for the build I needed gold, so I went and AFK'd for 4 days in the nether, and we managed to get a decent amount of gold. In fact, we got a lot of gold, and more than we actually needed, but who cares? Extra gold, I'm not complaining. Anyway, what I am going to be doing now is working on my throne room. You heard me right. This is a castle. I need a throne to sit on if I'm ever going to be in this castle. I have my palace to sleep in and my castle for sitting in. I did run out of materials halfway through, so I had to go get some wood and then finished off the throne room. We've got some pillars, we've got some end stone, we got a giant chandelier, and we got a massive pile of gold behind us. And more importantly, we have a netherite throne. Look at me. Look how cool I look. You're jealous, I know. Afterwards, I went and chilled with my bees a little bit because I wanted to breed them up a bit more. And then I was thinking, I need to do some achievements. I've barely done any. And a fun one to do is the catalogue one, which basically means you tame every type of cat. So basically, I'm going from village to village, killing horses as I go, of course, and also looking for cats. The main thing is looking for cats. I was just killing horses for fun. I found a ginger cat. I found a black cat. But I think I've had those before. But what I hadn't had is a jelly cat. So I tamed this cute little jelly cat here and checked my achievement progress, and I was on 7 out of 11, meaning we've got 4 more cats to tame, and this one here is one of them. It's like that sort of shaggy grey cat. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but either way, after chasing it across the entire village, oh my gosh, this thing didn't want to be tamed. Like, seriously, this took about 10 minutes almost for this one cat, but we got him or her eventually, bringing this to 8 out of 11. I then found another ginger cat in this village, and I was frustrated, so I chased after it. I found a Siamese cat in this desert village here, and I also saw another one as well. Tamed the Siamese cat, but I'm pretty sure I'd already got one of those as well. Killed the ginger cat because it was annoying me, and now we're on 8 out of 11, meaning 3 more to go. Killed some horses, found a grey cat, and after chasing it for a while, managed to tame that one as well, meaning we're on 9 out of 11, 2 more to go. And I noticed as well, we were very close to completing the all the biomes achievement. And when out flying, I ran across one of the portals I'd made earlier when I was in the soul sand biome, meaning we're 8,000 blocks away from home, so that was kind of fun. I also killed some horses, which was also kind of fun. I then found a white cat in this biome here, tamed it to realize I'd already tamed one before in the past, meaning we still had to find 2 more cats. Found a diamond in this desert temple, found another grey cat, forgot that I'd tamed it before. When I realized I had, I killed some horses and a chicken. Pretended to lure in this ginger cat here because I didn't actually need it, and then chased it off before finding another ginger cat in another village and actually killing that one. I'm sorry if you like cats. But reached 10,000 blocks away, so decided to turn around and fly back. But as I was flying back, came across this cat here, the Persian cat, bringing us to 10 out of 11. 1 cat left to go. Slept by these horses over here. They knew I was coming in the morning. Of course, it is death for them. It's their fault for existing. Don't blame me, okay? But I made it home with only 10 out of 11 cats. Bred all my bees up, as you can see here. Went into the end to fix my elytra quickly before heading out in another direction. Came across the ice spikes biome before, and then also managed to get the adventuring time achievement, meaning I found every single biome, and nearby in a village I found a black cat, the final one, giving us the complete catalogue achievement. Very, very nice. And this black cat, it was special, so I decided, you know what, it's coming home with me. It was the one we got the achievement with. I want to take it home. So we travelled across the ocean. It took quite a while, and I actually found the route we brought Penny the panda back before, so that was quite nice. And I got the cat up here, sat it next to my bees, and then I gave it the name tag, and of course it's going to be called Bob. And then on day 858, I realised that all my villagers in here had died. So that was not fun. I'd lost all of those, so I had to go and get some more as I come to visit them to get some bricks. So after getting another villager in here and also converting one as well for the future, and then I bought some bricks off him as well as gathered some dark oak wood and some birch wood as well. I know, birch, crazy. And then I got working on a little building. I say little, it's quite big, for our bee/honey farm. And I wanted to build in a different style to what I've been building in before. This is kind of similar to our palace rather than our sort of, you know, like village we've got up top there. And I also added a water wheel on it, which I thought was just kind of cute and sort of linked it up to the river. And it's looking looking rather cool. Added some barrels on. Why? Because I like barrels, and also some lanterns, and then decorated the sort of area with some plants, etc. But we were slowly building a chest monster, as you can see here, so I decided to clear some of the shulker boxes out and put them into our storage system. However, you'll see that I don't control it, and later it actually grows a bit more. But then I went and chopped some jungle trees, and while I was doing so, this wandering trader came up to visit me, which was kind of weird. But the reason I'd got the jungle wood is I was making a path in this area, as it was all still grass, and I wanted that to change. And I used some jungle wood, some jungle logs, and some mushroom as well. I also went and collected some vines to make some mossy stone brick walls, as I sort of wanted, you know, like a little barrier on this path, as well as adding in some leaves. I moved Bob over as he was in the way, then made a little pond here, as I just wanted the area to look a little bit nicer than it was looking before. And in my entire area, I'd sort of been missing out little details, so I wanted this area to look nice and complete. So I also added in a tree as well, because I like building trees, and I think they sort of add to the area, you know, add some height, etc. And seeing as I had some leaves, I thought I would decorate the room up here, and this is going to be Penny the Panda's room. Added in some bamboo so she'd feel right at home, and then all we had to do was get her in here. So I led the minecart all the way up, pushed her in, and she's looking so happy, and oh, isn't she such a glorious panda, my one and only panda. Yeah, she took some damage there, and then I tried to get her out of the minecart, and gave her some bamboo to try and heal her up, and yeah, I killed Penny. I was so mad. I actually was like so angry that I just flew up to the sky and took off my elytra, because I felt I didn't deserve to live in a world without Penny. Unfortunately, this wasn't hardcore mode though, so I survived and had to go and relax by placing down some grass and some stone to make a nice little area next to our house. I then went out in search of a different bamboo forest from before and found a couple of pandas. They are not Penny, and they're never going to be able to replace Penny, but I got them both in some boats, and then I set off home. And oh boy, this was a long journey. These guys were quite far out, and along the way I had to sort of, you know, find the perfect route for them to go, and had to dig out some places as well so we could get the boat through, as unfortunately you can't use leads on pandas, making them very awkward to bring home. This block was annoying me, but after a few glitches we managed to make a sort of passage through all these little areas into a river, and this river led right up to here. Unfortunately, I cleared out most of the river there for our squid farm, so I had to get a load of rails and get this panda in a minecart. And I know what you're thinking, Joel, you couldn't get the last panda out of the minecart. Well, this time I've come prepared, all right? I've looked it up, I know how to do it, and it involves this cactus here. Look at that, breaks the minecart. Yes, it hurts the panda a little bit, but less so than me punching it and killing it to death. So I got our first panda in the minecart and set him off on this long rail path that I'd made, praying that they don't die on the cactus, and they did take a bit of damage, more than I should probably have let, but finally we got them off and they are safe. Put them back in a boat, as we can break those pretty easy, and called him Percy. I then headed back to the bamboo forest to collect the other panda and set off on the same journey, this time a bit easier as I already cleared out all the paths. Managed to get them to here as well and get them in a minecart, and their time has come to meet the cacti. And also the reason we've got two is that we can breed them in the future. Of course, this time I was more prepared with the cactus and it didn't take as much damage, and I called her Pansy, and now all we need to do is build an area for them to live. And I had an idea, and that idea involved some clay, so I head out quite far to find this Badlands biome so I could collect some red and orange terracotta, as well as some red sand to make some red sandstone as well. And you can see from my coordinates here, we are quite far out, around 5,000 blocks away, so it took a while to get home, so I killed some horses on the way to pass the time. But then I made it back to our two pandas, put all our new stuff in here, smelted the sandstone, and then we got working on our Panda Enclosure. We've got two circles here, you'll see what they'll become just in a second. And I also extended the terrain as well, so we'd have a bit more space, as I want to breed these guys up. And then we've got these two huts here, one orange, one red. One's a bit smaller than the other one, and these are sort of, you know, a little bit of shelter for the pandas if they want any. I also did a little path and some podzol and some coarse dirt, and then I put a sign up here dedicating this entire area to Penny the Panda, and then did a free swipe salute. Also, the time-lapse didn't show the inside of these huts, which are really quite cute with little fires and leaves hanging down, but it's not finished use just yet. We still need to add like a wall on the back there before we can let the pandas loose. And I wanted to add some more decoration to it, and I needed some string to do that, as I wanted to place down some bamboo. So I went and got some string, some gravel, some blackstone from our area. But then I got distracted and realized this area here, I never really completed it. It's just like the ugly pipes and stuff. So I went to the nether, gathered up some warped stuff, and then got adding a little wall on here. Like nothing too crazy. This honestly took like 5 minutes. So I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but I was very happy with the result, and it looks a lot neater now when you come into the castle. But after that little distraction, I went back to the panda pen and started adding in a wall on the edge here to stop the pandas from escaping. It's not looking nice on the other side, but on the side of the pandas, it's looking quite nice. So I finally let them free and bred them together, giving us our first baby panda. Look how cute it is. Oh, it's so cute. I named it Perry because it looked like a berry. And then I got finishing the enclosure by adding in some rocks, some more bamboo, some bone mealing of the ground, flowers, etc. Just neating it up and making it look all nice and tidy. And then I bred Pansy and Percy again. And as you can probably tell at this point, all the pandas' names are going to be beginning with P. I was naming them every name I could think of that began with P, and we started to run out after we got to Polly, to be honest with you. But it was annoying me that the entrance of my house was looking kind of bare, so I decided to change that up by neating it up a little bit, and also started working on a path here up and down, and also added in a couple of trees. Ooh, lovely. And during this time I was breeding up my pandas. I really want to get a brown panda. They're just so rare and hard to find, but if I keep trying I will succeed. But either way, I got distracted again and decided to work on something here, as this area was kind of looking kind of like lacking something. So I thought I'd add in a shepherd villager in like a little hut. This is more just for like decoration. I don't really want to trade much with him, but in the future if I do need something from a shepherd, he's here. And it works just really well having this nice little hut with the background of the city. And I brought a villager along, locked him in there forever. And if we ever need some emeralds and I can't find anything else to trade, we can always trade wool with this guy, which is pretty good. I added a bit more of decoration to the area, nothing too crazy, just some barrels, and realized Pansy had escaped somehow. Not sure how it happened, but I'm pretty sure it was this block here, so I decided to remove that to make sure it didn't happen again. Then brought Pansy back in, and look, Percy's enjoying the hut there, and I got a runny-nosed panda. They're kind of rare. But I spent the last 2 days AFKing before day 900, where I got all the gunpowder to make enough rockets to basically last us to day 1000. And speaking of things that will last us forever, we have enough pumpkins to last us forever. And to be honest, I was kind of getting overrun with pumpkins, so I thought we got that area just at the bottom of like the city bit there, and I thought, I could add something here. So I did. I extended the land a little bit and terraformed it to look a bit nicer before adding on a little sort of farmer house here as well. I wanted some more farmer villagers to trade my pumpkins with, and I thought this little house here would be perfect for them. I brought a few of them down and started the process of, you know, converting more villagers, etc. And there's space here for 4 farmer villagers, and I started getting them in their little holes, which went easily. Just kidding. They kept getting out, and it was really, really annoying. But finally, we managed to trap this guy in this hole here, get him out of his minecart, and now we can trade with him for pumpkins. But I forgot to finish the roof, so I went back and finished the roof. And after the roof was done, which was looking nice and overgrown, I went and had more problems with the villagers before finally getting our second villager in here, and we can start trading with him as well. But we've got our farmhouse underway. What we need to have around it now is a farm. So I went and gathered up some crops, and also got working on a path up the hill, as well as making some farmland around this area. Lots and lots of farmland. We're going to have wheat, carrots, potatoes on here, because we don't really have too many of them around. We've only got a few patches near our starter base, so I thought if we needed them in the future, this would be useful. And I could have automated it, but we don't need them that badly, okay? It's more just for aesthetics, and oh gosh, it's looking good. I'm very happy with it. And we actually did kind of need some early on to trade with our villagers to make sure that they had the pumpkin trade. This one did. This one didn't, so unfortunately we had to put an end to him in a second, as you'll see, after making some more farmland for my potatoes, of course. It felt weird going back to planting seeds, but I didn't mind it. It's quite therapeutic. And then what was more therapeutic was making this villager die here. I suffocated him in this block so that the other villagers wouldn't mind. And after his swift death, we went and replaced him instantly and managed to get a farmer villager that did trade pumpkins, which was lovely. And then I brought a few more along as well, and they all traded pumpkins as well, meaning that we had 4 villagers that traded pumpkins for emeralds. The perfect situation. And all that terraforming and crop planting made me remember my map, and I was like, ooh, that's going to look so much different. But I thought, let's not waste it for now. Let's look at that when we reach day 1000. So instead, I went and gathered a load of oak logs and oak leaves and got making a big old tree at the end here, because I didn't know what to put down, and I thought a tree would be quite fitting, and I think it is quite fitting. And then I also extended the farmland up the hill even more. I'm not sure if I'm going to extend it any further than this, but it's looking good, as you can see here. And you know what else is looking really good? Our picture of Lizzie, our map art we made last time. So I decided to lock that map art in, and then I went and got a load of blackstone and headed over to the map art, and I had an idea, you see, and you can kind of see me placing some blocks here. Went back to the nether to get some more blackstone as I kept running out. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. I don't want to spoil it just yet, but it involved a bit of blue wool as well, as you can see here, and we're sort of placing it on top, and we needed a lot of blackstone. I kept having to go back to the nether to get a load of blackstone, place down all the blackstone, kept running out of blackstone, then heading back to the nether to get more blackstone. Repeat process until finally we completed it, and here it is. I think it's a great improvement. I think Lizzie's looking really good with this monocle top hat and mustache. That's from above, it looks so good. So I put that in my house, of course, as it just looks so funny. Before chopping down some spruce wood, as we're going to be building something else, as I want more place for villagers. Those 4 on here, they're not enough. I want more, and I thought I'd put them in a windmill here, and I built this sort of old style windmill, but it had enough space for 4 villagers in the bit at the bottom, and I was really happy with it. I think it really added to the hill. Started getting some villagers in there, as you can see, which obviously they didn't cooperate like usual. But look how cute they look in this windmill base. Oh, I really, really like it. But you know what I don't like? The fact that I'd run out of potions of weakness. And I thought, this is an opportunity for me to build something. And I'm not going to pass up on that opportunity. So I went and found a few materials I needed. One of them was dark prismarine. Oh, listen to that scream. A glorious sound. And you know what's more glorious? The dark prismarine we're going to be crafting here. I love this farm. It's by far my best farm. It's so efficient. It's the best. But after gathering up more materials, we got working on our potion workshop. This is going to have a machine in it where I press a button and it makes the potions for us. We don't have to worry about it or adding it in manually. Perfect. So very simple building on the outside, and on the inside you can see we're going to work on this sort of redstone machine. Very, very simple. You basically just have these hoppers, some droppers. It didn't take long to make this, and all we have to do now is press a button on the front and it'll start working. But before we can press that button, we need the materials, and those materials involved spider's eyes, and I need to go get some spider's eyes, so I had to go kill some spiders as I don't have a spider spawner, which is honestly something I probably should have at this point. But oh well, we got the machine working. We added all the stuff into each place, including the gunpowder for the splash potion part and the spider's eyes as well, fermented, of course. The only thing we needed to do was get some glass bottles, so I went and got some emeralds from trading our farmer villagers, and then I bought some glass from our librarian villagers. As you can see, we're getting a lot of emeralds now from trading all our farmers. And after loading in a full double chest of bottles of waters, we could put the final 4 in here, as well as some blaze powder, push this button, and all we have to do is wait a little bit, and then voila, we have potions of weakness, splash potions of weakness, I should add, in that chest. It's perfect. I went and celebrated by breeding my bees. I still haven't made that honey farm just yet, but I will get working on it in a bit. I just need to make sure I've got enough bees, and I also want that brown panda. But I had been ignoring the other side of my house, so I thought of an idea of something to add in here. You can see I'm sort of layering it with the stone here, and then I went and got a load of blocks of iron, because you may remember a fella called Halfway Harry. Well, in his memory, I thought I would make a few more halfway iron golems. As you can see here, you got to use pistons to push them into place, but look at them. Oh my gosh, I don't know why this is so funny, but I love it. They're all stuck in the ground, and I gave them all names. We've got Hannah, Harriet, Harvey, Holly, Henry, and finally Haley. Look at them all. I don't know why I love this so much, but I think it's just great. Anyway, more panda breeding. And I was very happy with how this area was looking, so I thought, let's go improve it a bit more. I went and gathered some mushroom as well as some jungle logs, which are the blocks we use for our path. And then we got adding in, surprise, surprise, a path, and I made sure to decorate it all the way down, trying to link it up with the village in a bit. And you can see here, it's looking rather tasty from down below especially. Oh, look at the view. But I realized I'd never actually harvested honey, so I went and got the advancement for that. And then I noticed my diamond supply was very, very bad. So I went to the nether, fixed up my pickaxe and all my other tools as well, before moving my beacon to a new strip mine, as we're going to be working on getting some diamonds. I just want to have diamonds. I miss having diamonds, all right? There's something about it. I just get a bit anxious when we don't have diamonds. So I spent the next 5 days strip mining with our beacon. It's so quick, so effective, and we got a decent amount of diamond ores. And we also bumped into this skeleton spawner here and managed to get a music disc we hadn't got before, so that was quite nice. But anyway, back to the diamonds. Sometimes I'd accidentally mine up the diamond blocks with our fortune pickaxe instead of our silk touch one. I want to do the thing at the end where you place all the diamonds and you mine them all at once. Oh, and I found another skeleton spawner, completely different to the first one, with different stuff in it, so that was kind of fun. I did manage to find a lot of diamonds on day 945. As you can see here, this is all one day. We're finding so many veins of diamonds. It was a treat, a very, very nice treat. And then on 946, we managed to get enough where I was like, yeah, that's enough. And we managed to get nearly a stack and a half of diamond ore, and I then went and placed it in a big tower along with our coal and mined it all out. As you can see here, we got a lot of diamonds. Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy with that. I went and tested out my new disc. It's terrible. I hated it, so I put it back in, and I thought, you know what? I could do with a new parrot, and I put a parrot in where Penny was going to live. I know it's not going to take Penny's place, but it looks quite cute in there. But what doesn't look cute is the grass on the left here. This whole area is looking kind of ooey still, so I went and gathered some podzol, and then got placing in a waterfall here, as well as sort of terraforming a bit more, and also adding in some dirt, podzol, and some bamboo, as well as some leaves. And look how much nicer that's looking now. Beautiful. And what is also beautiful is our bees, and we've actually got enough bees now where each of these hives is full, which means our honey farm is ready to go. So I started placing all these hives in here, which have all got 3 bees in them, and then broke the slabs that were in the way and added some flowers in, and these guys are all ready to start producing honey for us. Look at them all in there. They're so cute, and honey is already being produced, which means we can finish the advancement of jumping into the honey sticky situation. There you go. Done. Very nice. And I can start replacing the beehives in there as well, so we can keep the bees in the dome, because I think they just look so cute in there. And then I spent the next day gathering oak logs and oak leaves again, because that area was looking like it was missing a tree. And of course, you know me, I like building trees, so I added in a big old tree here, probably our biggest tree yet. And I think it fits in so nicely, and this area in total is looking so good. You'll see in a second. And also, I was just showing off my my honey farm working there, by the way. Yes, I'm getting honey. And I wanted this area here to be complete, so I didn't have to worry about terraforming it again in the future. I added in a pond, I added in some flowers, did some coarse dirt, some leaves, a wall, etc., and just tried to make it look all nice and finished. And you'll see here, look at this, look at that, what a beautiful area to be walking around in. So of course, we'd finished the time lapse. I went to the nether in search of polar bears, which you don't find in the nether, but you do find here. And I've never really interacted with these guys before, and I figured out that you can't get them in a boat, but what you can do is attach a lead to them and pull them behind you on a boat, and that is perfectly fine. So I went and gathered a couple of polar bears up, but unfortunately, the polar bear of the child sort of made these other polar bears kind of angry towards me, so I just had all the polar bears attacking me, which kind of sucked, so I had to kill these polar bears because they were stuck on my lead. And yeah, then I went and avoided the polar bear with the child, and instead got 2 new polar bears and took them on an adventure all the way home, which took quite a while, but we made it. And after pulling them 4,000 blocks across the ocean, here is where they decided, you know what, I don't like leads. I can't get up this singular block here, but after a bit of struggle, we got them both here, attached them to leads, and called them Mike and Sully. But these guys need somewhere to live, and of course that area is going to need to have snow. So I went and gathered up a load of ice, stone, snow, and you can see here we got so many materials as we're going to be doing a lot of work here. And I did some terraforming, we added in the snowy area where they're going to go, and I made sure to make it all rocky and nice, and also made sure that they wouldn't be able to escape from there, and then worked on a path winding through the middle of it all as well, which I think worked out really, really well. And don't worry, we're not going to leave it looking like that, 'cause it kind of looks like a spleef arena at the moment. Instead, we're going to add a nice little hut on here, as well as some blobs of ice around. And as you can see here, Mike and Sully absolutely love it. Let's hope they can't find a way to escape. But let's be real, they probably will, as all the pandas have somehow figured a way to escape, and they're super slow. But here you can see how nice this area is looking, but it is missing something. And that thing rabbits. That's right, I went back to the desert where we collect all our sand and sandstone, picked up a rabbit, and then started bringing them home. Met this dolphin along the way, and out the corner of my eye spotted something, so obviously I had to go and do my duty and get rid of them. Feeling peaceful, I set off back home, and I thought I'd bring the dolphin with me as I can bring it basically up to the castle, and I might build a water tank or something in the future where I can have some pet dolphins. And we managed to get them both home nice and safely. However, I went to get a name tag for the dolphin and it disappeared, so I'm guessing it's dead, so that's a shame. But we got the rabbit out of the boat and we called it Judy. Then I headed back to the desert to get another rabbit, took it the 7-minute journey all the way home, and then broke the boat and killed it at the exact same time. Yay, I hate my life. Anyway, I flew straight into the ground out of frustration, but didn't die, which was kind of nice, and I thought I needed a nice treat, so I went and stood in my mansion for a little bit and looked out and slept in my big boy bed, and then went back to the desert and got another rabbit, of course. Brought it all the way home once more, got it out of the boat safely this time and attached it here a lead and called it Sam. But we need somewhere for these rabbits to live, so of course I got out my sand and we set off on a big old time lapse trying to turn this place into a desert looking sort of area. Added in a little oasis, started adding a wall around it, and then swiftly ran out of blocks, so I had to go back to the desert to get more sand and more sandstone, and then got placing it once more, this time adding in a few other things and finishing off the wall as well, meaning we could now bring our 2 bunnies into the area, which I did. I brought them in, I bred them up, and we got a baby little bunny. I'm hoping to get lots of baby bunnies in the future. But the area was still looking kind of plain, so I went and collected some jungle wood and jungle leaves and got adding in some palm trees, and yeah, that happened. Another bunny down. It climbed up my scaffolding and died, so obviously I need to go get another one after this time lapse. But first, palm trees, yay, and bushes, they're nice. And my polar bear escaped somehow. I don't know why, animals just don't want to be near me. Maybe it's something to do with killing all those horses, I don't know. But we went back to the desert, collected some dead bushes, as well as another bunny. Brought that all the way home, once more, our 4th bunny now that we've done this with, and called it Judy 2.0, and brought it into the arena to meet Sam, where they swiftly made a baby. Oh, by the way, the other baby had died because it had fallen off the scaffolding. I then placed all the dead bushes around, looking all nice and stuff, just trying to make it feel like a proper desert. And then we got working on another project because I kept running out of bamboo. So I thought, you know what? Let's make a bamboo farm. They're really easy to make, and it's something I could put in this area here, as I didn't know what to put here. So I extended the grass in this area to make it a bit of a bigger space, and then we got placing our very simple bamboo farm. This thing just doesn't need a lot of bamboo stalks because bamboo grows so quickly, so it doesn't have to be a massive building, and we don't need that much bamboo, alright? We need a decent amount, but not that much, okay? And you've probably seen this sort of farm many times before, just an observer, some pistons, some redstone, easy peasy, collection system, bamboo in the middle, and we're off to the Badlands, where we're going to collect some more red sand to make some more red sandstone, as we're going to put a building around this bamboo farm. Obviously, look how ugly it looks right there. So I gathered up some other materials as well, and then we got working on a kind of long time lapse, in fact, about 7 or 8 days I'm pretty sure we spent here building this building, which didn't take too long, as you can see, looking all nice and sort of funky with, a bit of orange, a bit of warped on the roof, and bamboo on the roof as well. And we also added in this path coming down here, linking it all up to the area, and then we finished off by placing some rocks down, terraforming it in to make it look like it fits in there. And this thing was already producing bamboo, meaning I could go breed up my pandas some more, hoping to get that brown panda, but of course, no luck. I also bred up my bunnies as well, because we want to get loads of bunnies. And I was just looking at this area. It's looking nice. However, there is a couple of things missing. So I went and gathered up some more materials, including some vines, and then went and dropped those off and realized, oh my gosh, this chest monster just seems to keep growing and I can't do anything to stop it. I then went and got some pumpkins because I kept running out of bone meal, so I used these to get some bone meal from this sort of automatic bone meal thing here, and then spent a decent amount of time collecting some oak leaves and some oak logs. That may look like a lot, but what you're about to see in this time lapse here, we use pretty much every single one of those oak logs. There's still some leaves left over, but the logs are all gone, because of course we're going to be adding in some trees as well as the walls, and just like making the ground look all nice with flowers, etc., and just making the area look quite pretty. I also added a tree on in this side as well, because all the trees were on the other side and I thought it needed some balance, so I did a couple. on this side as well. And there we have it. The area is looking rather clean right now. Look up from here. Oh my gosh, I can't believe none of this was here at the start of the episode. And I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I just have to show myself walking through. It's so pretty, and more panda breeding because I still haven't got that brown panda. It's honestly getting quite sad at this point. We've got so many pandas, but none of them are brown. I then AFK'd my creeper farm for about half a day just to get a decent amount of gunpowder, as we are going to be crafting something in particular you'll see in a second. It requires a lot of different types of materials, including glowstone dust, as I wanted to make some fancy fireworks stars, to make some fancy fireworks so we can send off on day 1000 with a bang, quite literally. So it took me quite a while to just make all these fireworks, as there was loads of different types, as you can see in the sugar box here, but we need somewhere to shoot these out of. No, we're not going to be shooting them out of our bow. We're going to be shooting them out of some dispensers, and we're going to be building a place for them to like sort of explode behind so it can look all nice and cool. So I did it behind my house here, made this little system, but we obviously don't want to be standing here while we see the fireworks, so I made a little tower over here and then made this ridiculous redstone signal, which almost got me killed by this creeper here, all the way over to the back of our house. It took quite a lot of redstone repeaters, but we got it set it up, and then we made a little tower here around the button so we'd have a very nice view. And with that, we're on day 999. Look at all the progress we made. I just kept walking around looking in awe at the amount of stuff we've done. And you know what? I said I'd do it. The map. It's time to change it. Look at how much of a difference this has made, especially over here. Look at all that new stuff. Oh my gosh, we've done a lot this episode. I spent the rest of day 999 just looking around in awe at what we've done. I can't believe it. And oh, of course, I had to try for that brown panda, but after breeding up pretty much every panda we had, no luck. No luck. I can't tell you how many pandas I've bred. Well, you can kind of see how many I've bred, but no brown panda. But the sun is setting. I'm kind of reminiscing at this point. It's firework time, and as you can see here, it was kind of a bit of a failure. Not that impressive, so I decided to actually go behind it and have a look at the fireworks myself, and they are quite lovely, however kind of underwhelming, which is quite fitting to end this 1000 days. But I slept in my big boy bed, and there it is, day 1000. Look at all my statistics here. We've done so much stuff over these 1000 days. I actually can't believe it that we've actually reached this point. I'm kind of relieved, but also kind of sad that we've reached this point, as I'm not sure when I'll be playing this world again, as I'm going to take a little break, as I've been just investing my entire life into this world, and I kind of need a break from that. But 88,000 stone blocks mined. We've used a pickaxe like 144,000 times. You'll see in a second here. Ridiculous, but that is it. 1000 days complete. And here, of course, we've got a bit of a shaders sort of fly through of our world here. And this video is an hour long, so if you've reached this point, please leave a like. Please subscribe, as this has been a fun and really cool journey, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.